The Northern Europe Geoscheme region, as defined by the UN Statistics Division, has experienced a surge in LCVI-S23 cases. This area ranges from the Baltic and Nordic states and the 2 states within the British Isles. The World Health Organization has classified this surge as a mass detection of the Lacrimavirus. This sudden outbreak endangers the remainder of Europe and will only contribute to the spread of the virus globally. Northern Europe was previously one of the least affected geoscheme regions globally, but its safety and security have been compromised at the hands of this epidemic. With such severe events occurring in major global regions, it is highly likely that a global pandemic event will be declared. However, many outside government officials have stated that this action is long overdue. Nations in all continents of the world have reported cases of LCVI-S23. Asia is the continent that has been impacted the most, particularly in the south and west. Pakistan, the nation of origin of the Lacrimavirus, is in a treacherous state. Its government is losing stability at an exponential rate, the case rate is rapidly multiplying, and more people are dying from the virus than ever before. This virus has the capability of causing national collapses globally, and Pakistan's case may be just the first if no action is taken. Other nations that have seen major impacts from the epidemic are India, Afghanistan, and Nepal. Action must be taken immediately. There is no more time to wait.
The state government of Alaska recently detained an individual who was then diagnosed with LCVI-S23, the first case reported in the United States of America. The suspect was fully cooperative in his interrogation. When questioned on his lack of valid identification, the suspect revealed to investigators that he was a Russian military draftee who had fled the country through the Bering Strait into Alaska to avoid service. The suspect succumbed to the illness a week later. This case provides vital information regarding the sudden appearance of LCVI-S23 in the United States and the high density of cases in Alaska as compared to the rest of the nation. This file appears to be over a week old. We don't know why this wasn't posted immediately due to its severity. Due to this, the lives of the American people have been endangered. This must be spread to officials so the public can be warned before it's too late.
Thank you for watching the Dune Media line serving the Cardiff-Newport metropolitan area. Our service has been interrupted by safety officials, and an emergency message will be broadcast shortly through Dune Media. Please stand by for further information and remain calm.
We at Dune Media of Wales have been informed by public safety officials that a mass outbreak of LCVI-S23 has been detected in Cardiff with additional cases in Newport and the surrounding area. This virus is incredibly dangerous and infectious. Per the World Health Organization's guidelines, all persons within the affected area are required to remain 2 to 3 meters away from each other and wear face masks in public spaces. This virus has not been declared a pandemic on a global scale, but such will likely occur in the coming days. LCVI-S23, or the Lacrimavirus, has been known to cause crippling conditions to its victims. There have been many recorded instances of victims having sustained enlarged livers and spleens, tumors, internal clots, and severe cases of delirium. We would also like to urge our viewers to remain indoors and away from others, as this disease poses a direct threat to the population of not just Wales, but the entire world. Thank you.
What Meyer experienced during his last few hours was purely horrifying. What he faced looked more like a hellish extraterrestrial disease you'd find in horror media than an actual disease. There were clear problems from the beginning of his containment. All of our treatments did absolutely nothing. From what we know, we never harmed him in any way. We simply failed to improve his status.
As part of my duty, I was tasked with overseeing a patient of LCVI-S23. I will not disclose the patient's name, but I will describe what occurred during this period. At first, all was normal. The patient experienced flu-like symptoms, all very normal for an early-stage infection. He was very lethargic and spent most of his time resting himself, a logical choice. He slowly deteriorated physically and mentally. However, with every passing conversation becoming increasingly hostile. After a week, he was psychotic and there was no further point in attempting to reason with him. We made the mistake of not securing his area of containment. 10 days in, he is in a state of such extreme psychosis it becomes clear that this was not caused by his own will. He destroys the perimeter of his containment center and attacks a nearby staff member by scratching, punching, and biting. The staff member was later diagnosed with LCVI-S23 and is now deceased, but showed no signs of a similar case or mentality as the patient that attacked them. At this point, we euthanized the patient. What we discovered is harrowing. His body is covered in unnatural growths. His head has expanded and yet another growth expands from the top of his skull. I cannot describe in any accurate way what these growths appeared to be or even looked like. They were large, dense morphs of a strong material that we haven't yet identified.
These past few weeks have been a horrifying time for our world. In the last time since the World Health Organization last briefed on the 31st of March, LCVI-S23 has grown more dangerous than ever before, with cases having exploded nearly 15-fold. Already, we have seen hundreds of thousands of people fighting for their lives in hospitals across the globe, and tens of thousands that have already lost their battles with the disease. We have allowed far too much time to pass before we have taken serious action. And it's important that we get right to the point of this announcement.
LCVI-S23 will now be assessed as a pandemic. We must restate what we said on March 11th, 2020, when the COVID-19 pandemic was declared a pandemic. We have given this announcement great thought, and it is unfortunate that we have come to this conclusion.
This topic cannot be assigned lightly. We cannot accept continuous panic and suffering for a minor situation, though this is not one. There is work to be done to ensure the safety of everyone in the world. We must work together, shoulder to shoulder. We cannot have disjointed efforts like in the past, as this is a situation that can cause an indescribable amount of damage to our society. All I have to say is that we need to prevent, prepare, and protect for the greater good of our people. Thank you.
and I die.